I am the Queen of Zandalar, and a queen kneels to no one.
They should use their minds to save the world, instead of devising ways to tear it apart.
No. Not while the Black Moon still cries out for vengeance. Not until the Horde has answered for its treachery.
The war is serving its purpose. Stay focused on the endgame. You know what is to come.
The two essential weapons of an adventurer. A bottle of good gin and a jar of tasty jam. This is Girls Gone WoW!
Hello, you are listening to Girls Gone WoW, show 684, recorded on Sunday the 26th of April. How is it the 26th of April? Recorded on Sunday the 26th of April, somehow, 2026. I am your host, Raven, and with me I have my wonderful co-host, EJ. EJ, how is it April? How is it nearly May? Where did time go?
I know.
So why is your picture
well, they did something like we did something with the clocks, and then it was suddenly April.
Yeah, it's suddenly April. Shouldn't be April.
Yeah.
Anyway, how are you? How's this week been?
Well, I got to hang out with some of my favourite people yesterday in real life, so that was lovely.
Yes, you came over to lovely Buckinghamshire with some other friends of ours who we haven't seen for like a super long time, which was really, really lovely.
So nice. Yeah. We went outside.
We did.
Weird. I wasn't expected to be outside.
We did. It was like everybody came, and then I was like, oh, I suppose I should sort of give you the tour. It's not a very big town, so it doesn't take very long. And then, like, this is our clock tower. And then we were like, oh, well, maybe we'll just go and, like, sit in the park for a minute. So we went and sat in the park, and there was all sorts of complicated goose politics.
The goose politics.
Complicated goose
unexpected
politics.
Goose politics.
Unexpected goose polycule. I was like, blimey.
Yeah.
There were two Canada geese, and they had a white goose with them. And this white goose, I don't know if they'd hired a security guard or if they were having some kind of like polyamorous thing, but the white goose was very into protecting the goslings for this particular two Canada geese, and wouldn't let any other Canada geese come anywhere near. And it was super weird. I was just like, I didn't know geese did this. Did geese do this?
Hopefully those two were the parents.
Well, I hope so. Maybe it was a heist. It was a gosling napping.
Once the security goose had scared off all the other unnecessary geese, everybody just settled down and had a nice little chill. It was delightful.
Yes. Yes, it was really lovely. It was really lovely, and our friends had an ice cream from an ice cream van. And I, like, obviously they don't come in vegan, so I was like, oh yeah, ice cream vans, that's like a thing. It was like, wow, here we are being, like, look at us being proper grown-ups doing, like, grown-up stuff. And then we went to the cocktail bar.
They don't have, like, a fruit popsicle or something?
I don't really like those kind of, like, frozen juice lollies. Like, you can always get them, but I just don't find them particularly exciting, so I don't usually have them. But I could have done had I wanted to.
In my freezer that you might like, because they're mojitos.
Oh, well, okay. I mean, I'm prepared to reevaluate my opinion on the basis of a mojito flavoured ice pop. That sounds like a different proposition entirely. Yeah, it was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. And then we went to the cocktail bar and sat in the garden, which was nice. So yeah, it was good. It felt like a bit of a busy day. By the time I got home yesterday, I was absolutely exhausted. And when I looked at my step counter, I'd done 17,000 steps.
Oh my lord!
And I was like, oh, okay, that probably explains that. That might be why. Yeah. We're not on our own. We have Marie with us. How are you doing, Marie?
Hello. Oh, pretty good. I'm very sore because this week has been school vacation week, and I have been doing yard work, lots of planting of like bulbs and weeding, and it's also Earth Day week, so
Ooh.
I've been doing trash walks around my neighborhood because
nice.
humans are slobs and nobody picks up after themselves, and the snow has melted, so we've uncovered all of
so you've
the,
uncovered a
all
sort
of the
of
fall trash.
sedimentation layer
Yeah.
of like last year's trash. Oh, joyful.
And I got to ferry Kyle, who's 16, back and forth from driver's training.
Wow.
So he was taking the class, and so now he has to apply, request a test appointment at the RMV so that he can get his permit, and then I get to start teaching him how to drive.
Oh, exciting.
We have I think Eric has 5 more weeks until the end of high school, and then Kyle
Wow.
has 2 months until the end of sophomore year, which this year cannot finish fast enough. It has been the worst year for him, poor kid.
Oh. Well, it's nearly over now.
Yep.
Good. Gosh, I can't believe they're so grown up. I was just saying just before, just in the pre-show, Dino, my horse, who some listeners of the show will know that I've had for quite a long time. I actually bought him back in 2012, back in the early days of the podcast. I bought him as a 5-year-old. He'll be 19 tomorrow. 19.
Old man.
He's
6 months.
Are you making him a
older than
cake?
Eric.
Am I making him a cake? I am not making him a cake, but I will take him some carrots tomorrow morning. He gets apples most days. He doesn't usually get carrots, so he can have some carrots tomorrow morning. But yes, I'm not gonna. Sometimes I bake a carrot cake for him, but I didn't get around to it today because a dairy-free, a vegan carrot cake is fine for horses as long as you don't put it's not great for them to have too much wheat and too much refined sugar, but if you do a vegan one, at least it doesn't have any eggs or dairy in it. Then they can have a little bit of that. But I didn't make one today, so there we go. Unless I feel particularly moved tomorrow evening, which seems unlikely because I'm going to the pub, then he'll have to be cakeless.
I made spontaneous brownies yesterday. So.
Ooh, lovely.
Chinese brownies are some of the best brownies. You're like, what's happening?
They were
there's
finished for
brownies.
breakfast this morning.
Amazing.
Brownies
Hooray.
for breakfast.
Right, well, before we move into the show, just a quick note to say congratulations to all of our competition winners or giveaway winners for the Thunder Ridged Elec, the mount codes. Blizzard gave us 5 mount codes to give away in the Discord as part of the WoW Ambassador program. And the bot very helpfully did that for me on Wednesday night whilst I was standing in a field. Hooray!
Great! All of a sudden, the bot had done it. I was just looking, and I'm like, "Oh, the bot did a thing. I better start. DMing people." Okay.
Yeah, amazing. So congratulations to all those winners. And if you want to be in the chance to be in with a chance of winning for future competitions, then get yourselves over to the Discord at bit.ly/ggw-discord. Hopefully, the WoW Ambassadors program will have more giveaways in the future. Right, let's move on to our interesting news of the week. Yes, so Blizzard put a little post up, little message from the WoW team came up around Thursday, I think it was. And
that sounds about right.
Yeah, and they said the 12.2.5 patch launch was not up to our standards. We know this disrupted your time and caused justified frustration. The team has been working around the clock since to stabilise the game and to fix the biggest issues players were hitting right away. See the hotfix updates and our posts on the bonus roll issue. The team is taking lessons learned from this launch to help ensure it doesn't happen again. We will also work harder to communicate openly, early and often when a launch doesn't go as expected, the known issues we're working on, fixes as they roll out, and any other information that would be useful to the community as problems are worked on and solved. We care deeply about the game and we play it right alongside you. We will do better. Thanks for sticking with us. Yeah, so the patch launch went super well. Yeah, 10 out of 10 Blizzard, no notes. Actually, maybe just a couple of notes. Quite a lot of stuff didn't work. The game was extremely unstable for a lot of people. Like, bonus roll stuff didn't work at all. Like, quite a lot of the new, like, just sort of everything was just kind of a bit broken. It was sort of okay by the time I got into the game on Thursday, although I have had quite a lot of just general instability, but that's been going since midnight launch. But yeah, it seems like kind of everything broke and people got really annoyed about it because a lot of people felt like they weren't really ready for the patch. And then it turns up and it breaks everything. And you're like...
Yeah.
And like housing wasn't even had to be disabled.
Yeah.
You know.
Just in North America, weirdly.
Yeah, that didn't happen in the EU.
I'm glad we pioneered it for you.
Yeah.
Yes, now having a North American account as well as an EU one, like weirdly, because of the time like thing, it sort of means that maintenance sort of hits my middle of my afternoon, like early morning, mid of the afternoon, which is fine because I'm at work. So usually what can happen is I'll get home from work and maintenance is finished. But I got home from work on the Tuesday and I was like, why is this not working? Go to server status. Oh, all the servers are down. This can't be good.
Yeah, this is bad. Yep. Yes.
Yeah. I can't remember a patch dropping being quite such of a mess.
I mean,
like, I just can't remember the last one that annoyed me as much as this one, or other people as much as this one.
I feel like so it used to be like 10 years ago. This was quite standard. Like the patch would drop and you'd be like, yeah, don't go in the game for 48 hours because.
Or 15 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Because it used to be quite common, but these days, like, yes, it hasn't happened like this in a really, really, really long time. And I think because everybody, well, of course, not everybody, but quite a lot of people felt like this patch had arrived just a little bit quickly. It was like, well, why didn't you take 2 weeks? Like, why didn't you take 2 weeks and make something that worked instead of getting in the middle of all of the stuff that we were doing with this broken thing that now means we've had to, like, disable housing for a bit and, like, turn everything off and had like quite a long there was quite a lot of server downtime in the EU, I think, and it was kind of wild. So it was nice that they apologized.
Kind of wonder if they gutted their QA team and were hoping to rely on automated tests or something, but
I mean, we know they gutted their QA team quite a long time ago now, and we have had some, like, there's certainly been an increase in bugs in general. But yes, I don't know whether they were using some kind of automated tools to do some stuff that maybe hadn't really worked. I don't think there was a huge number of people on the PTR, so I didn't really hear, apart from Taliesin. I've not...
Mr. GM and Taliesin are the people I sort of keep an eye on.
Yeah.
But I hadn't seen a lot of, because even creators like that who produce a lot of, they do a lot of the PTRing so that they can put up videos and stuff. Even they seemed a little bit like caught on their back foot with like, there's a patch. Hold on, I better go. And like everybody seemed caught off by. And I think the other thing I think is really difficult is that the devs have taken a lot of heat over this, and I suspect this is upper management decision to have the patch cadence the way it is.
No,
this is not the devs, but unfortunately, because they are the public face, as it were, they're the people who've just taken a lot of shit over this over the last week. And I just and then when the statement came out, and we did need a statement, but then everybody, well, not everybody, but a very vocal part of the community just decided to shit all over that as well. And it's just like, come on.
Yeah, they were doing their
nobody
best.
will have wanted to produce a piece of work like this.
No.
Like, nobody would have done. Nobody would have gone, oh, that'll be fine.
Yeah. So no, I feel bad for them, but hopefully maybe a little bit longer until the next patch, maybe they can land it correctly. I mean, I guess they did quite a big overhaul between War Within and Midnight in terms of like a lot of with the taking of the like add-on stuff all going out and everything. Like there was quite a big kind of behind the scenes, like under the hood type set of changes, I think.
Sure.
So it might just have been,
added a bunch of complexity.
yeah, exactly, housing as well. So I'm sure they're just not used to. Maybe that'll bring an additional level of QA. It's like not now. Did it break like old dungeons or did it break old raids? But you know, has it taken the housing server down? Like you know, it's another set of tests that they might not quite have set up correctly.
Yeah. I mean, any product this size is going to have a bunch of automated tests. You just can't test something like this manually the whole way. So I do wonder if their automated test suite was not quite as robust for housing as it could be, and so something slipped through the cracks that broke a bunch of other stuff, and I don't know.
Yeah,
speculation.
Who knows? But yes, hopefully next time will be better.
Hopefully.
Indeed. So the other bits of news this week, as Raven previously said, the Twitch drop is now live. So if you want to get the Cuddly Pearl Gurgle Murloc housing decor item, you've got between now and May the 21st to watch 4 hours of WoW created content on Twitch with somebody who's got drops enabled. If you're a fan of in real life collectibles, Blizzard have announced that they are releasing a display model of the city of Dalaran, which you can purchase from the gear store. It's going to have a removable cloud section underneath it, which will act as the stand, but also can be a hidden compartment. It's going to retail for $100, €100, or £89. Also, other currencies are available, but I ran out of time.
Fair enough.
And it's available for pre-order with an August 2026 release schedule.
It's weird looking.
I kind of like it.
It's weird looking.
It's not very big though.
It looks
it
like
is quite expensive.
Yeah, it looks like a sort of tiny Barbie doll house. It's really It's odd. I think it's odd.
And the dimensions they gave for it was like 15 by 15 by 15 centimeters.
Oh, centimeters?
And
it's like
yes, that's what.
That's very small.
It is very small. I sort of feel like I need to see a real one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that really from the top of the biggest tower
from the top
to
of the biggest tower
to the
bottom?
It'll be like, it'll be tiny.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally.
Where's my
so this is I've just found a tape measure. Here's 15 centimeters.
Yeah.
This is 15 centimeters.
That much.
That's quite Yeah. Okay.
I think I would like some clarification about. I would like to see one. I mean, they must have some a mock-up made. So I'm kind of interested by it, but I also think I need to see one because it's Dalaran, and I've been a mage for such a long time. But
it's a lot of money for 15 centimeters worth of statue.
Yeah, if it's literally from the very bottom to the top, that thing's going to be tiny.
Yeah. Weird.
And I am unconvinced by its tininess.
Yeah. Weird.
Dalatini. Oh, Queen, that's perfect.
Oh dear. Dalatini. Dearie me. Right. Well, I think I'm going to move us away from bad puns. Sorry, Anne. We do apologise. And into our topic for the week, which is Harandar. How was it for you? So we're continuing our little tour through the zones. We've had a chat about Eversong. We had a chat about Zulaman. And now we come to have a chat about Harandar and the Haranir and the impossible navigation of this zone. So this is... It's supposed to be the roots of the world tree. Most of the world trees. Mostly. Which means it's a very kind of jungly sort of vibe to it. There's quite a lot of beautiful waterfalls and it's a very beautiful zone. There's kind of route systems and things, and you can access some of the route ways to move around the zone that the Haranir use to travel around the world. where they observe Azeroth in secret, but never intervene openly in the world's affairs, which is why they've been there the whole time and we've never met them before. Very convenient plot
Busy
armor.
doing secret business.
That's their plot armor. They are a reclusive ancient guardians of the root ways and are led by a council of elders and the faction known as the Harati. Vordrassel's, originally Andrassel's roots, do not reach Harandar as they were severed on purpose to stop the corruption of Yogg-Saron from spreading any further.
So they live in harmony with nature, but are also defending Harandar from the Rift of Aln, a primordial wound where the barrier between dreams and reality is thin. The rift is said... Excuse me, I'm going to cough.
Oh.
Sorry about that. The rift is said to have been created when Alnhara was taken from her cradle in Harandar in such a violent way it left a wound that would not heal, and her screams have given life to the horrific creatures that the Shulka battle. The Shulka are the warriors of the Haranir, who stop themselves from falling into madness at the sounds from their goddess by silencing their connection to her so they can safely traverse the rift. It's thought that the Emerald Dream originated from the rift, and we have previously encountered the rift during Legion when we helped defeat Xavius.
There is a weekly quest line you can undertake with Orwenna called The Legends of the Haranir, which is a lore drop. I really like these little quests. I need to do this week's now. I'm on week 4, I think. It's a 7-week quest chain. Only one of your characters complete the quest each week. Basically, you take an artifact from the reliquary and then you go learn all about it. And you travel through time and you do a little sort of scenario, and it gives you lore about that artifact and also about the Alnara and other bits and pieces throughout the zone. And then you have a nice cup of tea sometimes, which is cool.
For group content, there are 2 options. You've got the Blinding Veil dungeon, where we help Orwenna with surgical strikes against the Light Bloom at one of the sources of their cultivation of new magics and creatures. And the Dream Rift is a 1-boss raid where the dreams of Alnhara took form, and we help the Shulka battle with what was left when Alnhara was taken. So pain and madness shaped into chaos monsters, and the Chimeras emerged, a creature of agony and rage.
He's a pain in the ass.
Well, I mean, he is a creature of agony and rage, so yes, definitely.
Yes, he's very annoying, but we have defeated him on normal once. And we'll probably go back, maybe next week, depending on whether we defeat Illyria. We'll see. So this is our first glance into this new sort of civilization. Marie, you're here because this is your favourite bit.
It is, yes. Yeah. This is definitely my favorite zone. I love pretty much everything about it. I love the music.
Oh, the music is great.
I actually found the main music on YouTube and dropped it into my favorites and downloaded it so I can listen to it whenever I want. And I mean, anyone who's listened for any length of time to GGW knows that I'm a huge sucker for green lush zones.
Yeah.
Sholazar, Ungoro, and Harandar is no exception. It's gorgeous. I love it. I love the roots as a druid. Very important. I tried to go sit on top of one of the fungal striders that were... and no, you fall through his head. So it's I can't ride this guy around the zone.
You can't ride him around. You can't tame him to be your best friend. I mean, what's the point? You can get an achievement if you find one of them that is targetable and you try and beat it up. It will squish you so fucking quick and you'll get an achievement.
Nice.
And the achievement title is something like, "Did you... You're thinking?"
Yeah.
It's better version, but it's basically did you see the size of that? What were you thinking? And Simon's told me about it. I'm like, oh, I've got to go.
I've got to go. Yeah, I've got to go. I've got to go get murdered now.
Achievement.
Yes.
I didn't
so
do
yes,
the
everybody
squish
go get
yourself.
murdered.
I didn't do the squish yourself achievement in Dornegal,
Oh, you should have
but
done.
this might be worth it.
Yeah.
I love the stories. I liked a lot of the minor stories, as well as Orwena winning the trust of the council. I really like their voice acting.
Yeah, the voice acting.
I loved the accent and the way they talk, and the fact that some of them still don't really like you and don't really trust you. I love the Rutani. I liked the Batani when we found them in Warlords of Draenor. And I actually really warmed to the Fungarians during their lead your little team around and help them learn how to fight. I thought that was adorable, even though that delve is my least favorite.
Yeah, that delve is terrible. That delve is terrible. The quest chain leading up to this. So if you haven't done this side story for some reason, there's a little sort of jokey side story that's not dropping huge lore spoilers or anything, where you have to take a group of Fungarians and turn them into a coherent sort of battle team.
Gladiatorial team, yeah.
Gladiatorial team, yeah. They are all terrible when they start, and you have to coach them all and take them. You have to take them all through, put them through their paces, and teach them how to do gladiatorial combat. And it is very funny.
The healer doesn't think it can heal everyone. The tank doesn't feel it can tank. And, you have to it's a bit kind of Wizard of Oz. You have to go and find the secret way of making everybody feel better, and it's okay because the magic was in them all along. Right.
But then, unfortunately, this gives way to the Grudge Pit, which is the worst delve. So that's frustrating.
I just prefer wandering around an area. I don't want things sent at me.
Starting to like it more. I've got ways.
It's just Parhelion Plaza has just wiped the board for terrible for terrible
Plaza
delves.
can die in a fire, quite literally. That bit of the Sunwell we don't need, just burn the plaza. Because I've taken to staying in the middle of the Grudge Pit and pulling making things come to me off the the tier area.
Yeah.
And that way everything goes much smoother.
It just takes ages. It's just it takes ages, and it feels like it takes ages because you don't go anywhere.
I think that's the thing. It doesn't actually take any longer than another delve, but because you're in one room, you're why am I still here?
Yeah, exactly. It just feels it feels bad, is my problem with it.
It feels very rushed to me. Just because
really?
I can't choose when the next thing spawns.
No, this is true.
It spawns where I am. I can't.
That sort of depends on. So that does depend on what version you've got. I did a version today, and the version I did today, there's the first bit where there's just some mobs up, and you can pull those as you want to. But as soon as you finish that phase, you're in a little gauntlet. You're defending barriers, and there's no way because everything just starts coming at you, or they'll take down the barriers if you don't start the fight. So that one is just a bit annoying, but
Granted, I've done it once, so
Yeah, there are different stories. There is one that's particularly keeps you on your toes all the time, and you can't set the pace as well as you can with the other ones. But the Fungarians are just adorable.
Yeah, they are really cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
EJ, what's your favourite bit of the of Harandar?
What is my favourite bit? So I really enjoyed. And it made me cry, and I wasn't expecting to cry because I hadn't really fully been taken notice of what I was doing. But when you go and do the quest with the root warden, who's looking after the roots of Teldrassil, and that whole quest chain, and the fact that we get a weekly quest where we have to keep putting out the fires on the roots of And you know, she's like, and then you have this conversation with her, and it's like, well, will we ever get the fires under control? Is there? And she's like, there might be some hope. Maybe we'll get it all under control. And you know, sometimes things flourish after a fire. And I'm like, don't be kidding me. Like, don't be pulling my chain on this, Miss or Mrs. or Mr. Rootmaster person. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
That was bad and terrible, and I felt bad, and I still feel bad about it. So yeah, I really liked that. I think I liked very much. I think it's just a really nice set out zone. The first time I got there, and I was like, oh, am I going to be able to work out where everything is? Because sometimes when you've got a zone that's got a lot of verticality, it gets really confusing to find your way around. But actually, I actually think that zone flows quite nicely.
Yeah, I think the questing flowed quite nicely. There are some... Yep. I don't like the design of the den.
I get lost in the den, but
okay, that would be my apart from the den is just a little bit irritating. Like, put the Flight Master.
Yeah, why is the Flight Master underground?
Of a cave.
Why is the Flight Master underground? Like, I spent fucking ages looking for the fucking Flight Master.
Why is there a bird that will aggro
just above it?
Why is there a bird that will aggro every time you fly down into the Flight Master's entrance?
Yeah.
I mean, you can miss that. I understand it's there, but you can miss that. But yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to have put especially when you've got all of the stuff that's happening just above the den.
Yeah,
you've got like the renowned person up there, and you've got the obviously the legends of the Haranir person is up there. It's like just there was a nice cliff up there that would have worked really well. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So yes. Apart from that, I like all the rares. I like the colours, just all the colours
really
of all
beautiful.
the nature and the birds and stuff in that zone.
I like how all the animals are herbal. Like
yes, you can
yes,
you can make herbs of almost everything that you kill, which is quite funny.
And I.
Some kind of cat disaster is occurring at EJ's house.
Ella is trying to eat Sophie's food.
Oh no!
And has been told otherwise.
Yeah.
No, and I just love the because sometimes when you get an area where they want to tell you about some very important lore, you feel like it's either it's too subtle or it's like being hit over the head with it. But I feel like it was done very, very gently. And you could take on as much as you wanted to. Like, if you're not interested, you could just fly around and do the stuff, and you'd just be like, yeah, I'm doing stuff for plant people, fine. But if you're more interested in the story and lore, you'd be like, you could do something and then go, hold on. Does that mean... So that's what that zone is. That zone has given me an awful lot of like, but does that thing there mean that this... Ooh, and I love that. I love it when they drop just enough information into a zone that my brain starts going, but does this mean... And starts running like... and then waiting until Symes has finished something. In fact, Symes has been waiting for me because of the way they did the Legends of Harandir quest line, because initially all your characters could do it, and then they were like, oh no, it's just supposed to be one per week, which meant that I'd done some things on one and some things on the other. So my EU characters are still trying to get one character to have done it all. I've just finished it. I finished it earlier on my NA character, because basically Symes has for the last week, because he was more organised than I was, has been like, have you finished that quest line yet? So because yes, they've told us things and stuff, and it's like, oh, I can't, and it's opened up so many possibilities for where we're going and what's going to be happening in the future, and that's one of the reasons why I really love the zone.
Very good.
I'm only 3 into the Legends, because it took me so long to, unlock the max level stuff. So I'm very much looking forward to finishing those out. I won't be unsubscribing until I've got all those done at the very least. So that's 4 or 5 more weeks. And I just unlocked the last set of moths. So looking forward to a very pleasing, like, tracking up and down the zone, following moths and treasure chests just all over the zone. It's one of my favorite chill activities.
The only problem, the only problem when I first arrived in the zone is that Handy Notes was like, you have to collect all of these tiny little things, and the little moth icons covered basically the whole map, and I was like, okay, don't really know what's going on here, can't really see anything, don't really know what to turn off here so that I can actually see anything. Does not
show me the moths until I'm like right on top of them and they're in the mini map.
Well, in the mini map it's fine, but on the main map it was just a mass of stuff.
I must not have that Handy Notes part installed because they don't show up for me.
Potentially. But yes, it was quite I quite liked chasing the moths around, although I haven't completely finished it yet. I've got about 100 out of the 120, so I need to go back and just finish the final 20 ones. But it is a bit awkward. The only problem with the sort of navigating the zone can be knowing, even for a herb where you've got an up or a down arrow, it's actually quite difficult sometimes to know how far up or how far down.
Especially on those mushrooms.
Yeah.
Which level of mushroom
is this on? And some of the moths are I am a tiny little moth and I'm right in a corner and it's oh, for heaven's sake. So yeah, navigationally, it's not ideal. But I'm glad that I've cleared up most of the moths now, so that my map is a bit easier to do. I've got most of the treasures. The only 2 treasures I've got to do are the ones that you need to do special things for. But yes, it was a bit of a mess. When I first sort of landed into the zone, I was like, oh boy, okay, alright, cool, it'll be fine, I'm sure. And it is now fine, but it did take a while to get there.
If you get to the point which I did with the moths, and I had 2 moths I couldn't find, and I'd been up and down the zone 5 times, and I was ready to throw moths out of the window. A delightful human has created a add-on called Dust Lord, because that's the title you get when you find all the moths. And it will handily give you TomTom directions, and also I think it'll give you a little video, because sometimes the TomTom directions will take you to a point and then you're like, okay, but how far up or down do I need to be? And there's one that looks like it's in a rock.
This in a cave?
There is one that looks like it's trying to tell you that it's in a rock. It's not in a rock. There's actually a cave underneath, and then the moth is really obvious. I watched Bear from Bear's Adventures pinging all over a rock the other day, bless her. She was like, but it says it's here, and everybody in the chat goes, yes, it's hidden in the rock. And I'm like, I didn't find a moth hidden in a rock. I don't think that's right. And no, what it was this one that's actually, there's a cave underneath.
The cave ones are the most difficult for me. I have trouble finding cave entrances. But So yes, if you can't find it, there's probably a cave. It is my good dust tip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let us find out what other people thought of the place, and we'll pick up some other topics on the way. Let's hear from Salmis.
This is Salmis reporting in for this week's topic, getting to the roots of the problem. I like the feel of Harandar. The culture feels cohesive and substantial. I really like the children's involvement. They feel valued and a part of communal life, without being either dismissed or dominating. One really poignant side quest introduces Gazlo, of all people, to the den, and seeing them invite him to leave his own mark on their long story. So far, I've seen the roots of Teldrassil, Nordrassil, Shaladrassil, and Amirdrassil featured in the local story questing. I'm curious if there are any references to Andrassil, the world tree in Northrend. If there are, I haven't found it yet. It's a great zone to level herbalism in, though I tend to be swimming in modes of primal energy, so I have to balance out herbing in other zones for the other energies. The inclusion of the Rift of Aln into the geography of Harandar adds some new context to how the old gods and the Titans relate to the Emerald Dream and the world soul of Azeroth. The Rift of Aln was where we defeated Nightmare Lord Xavius back in the Legion expansion at the end of the Emerald Nightmare raid. I was under the impression that the nightmare was at least partially caused by Andrasil's roots coming into contact with Yogg-Saron and being corrupted into Vordrasil before being felled as the huge fallen trunk we see in Grizzly Hills. I now understand the rift to also be related to the removal of Alnhara from the cradle, presumably by the Titans. I wonder if there are any World Tree roots visible at the edge of the rift, and if those might be Vordrasil's roots. The Alndust phantoms that manifest in the rift remind me of the World Soul memories we fought and explored in the War Within. You know, I hope we'll be getting more lore relating to all this as we progress through Midnight. Selmis out.
Well, I think you will be getting more lore as you progress through the legends, if nothing else, Salmis. Yeah, lots of lore drops available here. Queen Smedry says, I'm always hesitant when my mostly white game devs take on another culture. As a white person from Illinois, I know I can make mistakes from time to time, but the Aboriginal culture as represented by the Haranir was handled with respect, and after some initial research was also well researched. Which is all I'll say, which is all to say that it's hilarious because the Haranir are literally from down under. Please don't ban me for the pun. Liz did it first. Yes, I do think they did a pretty good job. It's always a little bit scary when Blizz put their little paws into alternative cultures to know if they're going to do a kind of reasonable job. But it does seem like they've got quite good at doing things appropriately these days.
Phoenix Heart says, back when they first started talking about Harandar and the Haranir being a playable race, my first thought was, question mark? Really? Those xenophobic jerks that only had one person worth talking to? I don't know, Blizz. But after going through their zone and learning their story and getting to know them, I'm proud to have more than one Haranir character. Ah, I love all their plant life technology and I love their philosophies on life. Yes, I do. This is sort of a big theme throughout the zone, isn't there? About the sort of how life and what goes on has to be very delicately balanced. You have to balance like the good with the bad and nature with like technology, and there's a very big focus on balance, which I think is very relevant at the moment, eh?
Yes, doesn't certainly feel like that's what we're living through at the moment. Anne sums it up in one short sentence. Harandar was adorable. Mushroom people and absolutely amazing music. 10 out of 10, no notes. The music in this zone was particularly good. I think I felt like the War Within didn't... Dragonflight and the War Within, I wasn't super bowled over by the music. Obviously, old school Blizzard expansions back in the day had amazing music, and then they parted company with the musical talent that they were composing with for a while, and I wasn't that keen on the music in Dragonflight and the War Within, but I do think the music in Midnight has picked up a bit. I do think it's better. I really enjoyed the music in Silver Moon when the Void Well was there. So you got some of the main themes, but kind of reimagined, so it all sounds a bit like discordant and slightly broken. I thought that was quite clever. I quite like the music in Silver Moon in general, but I loved the music in Harandar. I really enjoyed. I thought it was super atmospheric and really kind of built the feel of the place.
Yeah. Yes, I don't think there's nothing I disliked, but there's nothing that particularly stood out for the last couple.
Yeah,
of
it's not this bad per se. It just felt like kind of average video game music, where I've always felt that Blizzard have been a bit for a long time they were quite above average in this particular regard, and it just felt like the last couple of expansions that they've maybe been phoning it in a little bit. But Midnight feels a bit better to me. I wouldn't say it was bad.
Maybe playing it safe.
Yeah.
Pastor Matt says, I liked Harandar. I think that the way they told their history was rather cool and different. I liked the culture and the stories. I didn't really like trying to move around there, almost as bad as Val-Shiraz. Yes, that whole verticality thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff
I feel
in the
like
way.
I've got used to where things are now. Sometimes I'm still sort of surprised. I'm like, how far down? Especially if I'm chasing a rare or something. I'm like, oh, I'm not there yet. But yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, there is a lot of different ways to go, and I really enjoyed the kind of the paintings and the how you can step into aspects of the past or different sort of bits and pieces, like step into the stories and kind of see them coming to life. I do think that's a really engaging bit of questing and storytelling, and I'm enjoying that we're doing a bit more of that with the legends. Ams has lots of thoughts about this. Ams says, Harandar was an absolute triumph of a zone, from the design aesthetic, from the characters, from the ode to Teldrassil, all the way through to the Sojourner quests. The most compelling part of the story between Orwenna, for me, was the story between Orwenna and Amarak. Unlike the story in Zul'Aman between the brother and sister duo, the story in Harandar is between two friends, felt almost essential to why Orwenna acts the way she does towards the Shulkra. I didn't love the approach to the treasures in this zone. There are too many moths, and way too many of a thing you need to collect for one of the treasures that is almost impossible to see in the water. Yes, that's one of the ones I haven't done yet. Whoever designed that treasure Whoever designed that treasure needs a therapist pronto. You can see them better if you zone all the way up. If you fly up really high. If you fly up really high, then you can just see the purple outline of a thing that needs clicking on. But then
you can see them in the distance pretty well.
You can see them in the distance. You can just you can see the outline of the interaction outline much better than you can see the item.
Oh, okay.
So it's why sometimes when you go into Harandar, there's loads of people that are like all standing up near the top of the skybox. It's like,
that made it really easy for me to do. I just got it done in like 20 minutes, flying up and down the river, and it was easy.
Yes.
This is something I haven't yet done because I thought it was going to be a ball ache, but that's very helpful.
No, you just if you see lots of people like hovering up near the top of the skybox, it's because that's where it's easier to see them from. It's still too many of them though. Yes. Ams continues. The references to Teldrassil made Harandar super rich lore-wise, especially with the mourning, the loss of the World Tree, but also trying to preserve what's left of its roots. The presence of Gazlo in the story felt weird. Like this was supposed to be part of the War Within after Undermine, but somewhere someone decided to move it to Bindai and opted for Koresh instead. This might be a spoiler, as it's gated quite far behind the Harandar weekly events. But the way the historians explain what befell their goddess was done really well and made me think there was so much more to this zone story than you might have initially thought, and that fills me with excitement. So I'm hoping they expand on the missing goddess, because the story feels super incomplete and I was not entirely sure I fully understand the relevance of the raid in that zone beyond feeling like they wanted to have one. I'd have found that raid more engaging if it was designed to be in Harandar itself and you had to kill it before it made its way out to the den. This manifestation is so powerful it's broken out of the Wrist of Olden type thing. It felt weird story-wise that this massive beast was just hiding behind a locked away that Orwenna knew nothing about until they showed it to her. The dungeons and delves in this zone are a mixed bag. There are moments I enjoyed the Grudge Pit and moments I dislike it. The Harandar Legends was solid content and probably my favourite weekly event, but I'm not sure how they'll make this engaging after you've done them all. I have 1 week left, so I guess we'll find out soon enough. All in all, 11 out of 10 across the board, minus that one treasure and the sheer number of moths. Yes, it is 120 moths in total for the moth achievement. That is a lot of moths. And I think it's like 100, is it 100 or 150 of the items for the treasure? It's like quite a lot.
150, I think.
Yeah, I think it might be 150. Treasure. It's a lot for the treasure. And last time I was in the zone, there were a lot of other people who were obviously doing the same thing. Yeah, it was weird that Gazlo showed up.
I mean, yes, that was at that point I was like, oh yeah, this was supposed to be the War Within content, wasn't it? But But, you know, it was fine. The children got to see a robot. They were quite delighted by the robot. We got to paint on a wall. There was a bit of storytelling. So I was like, fine.
I mean, it was fine.
Great.
But it was just a bit like...
Nice to see Gazlo. Like, Gazlo got a little, like, turn out. He's like, you haven't forgotten about me. It's like, no, Gazlo. No, we still know you're there.
We have not forgotten about you. You're all fine. Yeah. Weird.
Finally, Sacramo says, John and I have only done the main story, but we're looking forward to getting to know them through the local stories once we've got a big enough block of time to play. John says, I get lost in Harandar the same way I get lost in a barrow den. The whole place is a big barrow den. I mean, John's not wrong.
Yeah, not wrong. Not wrong at all. Not wrong. It is, yeah, it's just fun. It's just extremely vertical and very different to work out which floor you're supposed to be on. And confusing when, you know, the Flight Master is in a cave, sort of underground, and... I haven't killed all the rares in the zone, because there's never anybody around, and some of them are too big for me to do on my own. I just haven't been there at the same point as other people.
There's three or four rares that I'm not going to be able to do on my own.
Yeah. I mean, I've done a chunk of them, but there's some ones that have got quite a lot of health that I think are going to take more than just me.
Yeah. My Warlock can solo those because she's got her blueberry friend, so I'm quite happy to come with both of you with slightly different Warlocks and help you murder those. I love the fact I know that I keep saying this, but I love the fact that the rares are on such a short respawn timer. You know that actually even if you've just missed one, actually you can just sit there, and usually there's somewhere nearby you can fish, and you can fish for like 20 minutes. Sometimes it's not even 20 minutes and the rare will pop back up and you're like, oh, perfect. Especially as the mounts that spawn are particularly pretty from Harandir. So basically everyone's happy apart from wanting a few less moths.
Yeah, too many moths, and people who get lost easily in video games are getting lost easily in this particular bit of this particular video game. But that's fine. Generally speaking, 10 out of 10. No notes.
Absolutely. And also, thank you for leaving my brain with lots of like story ideas and possibilities to think about. I love this. Because there was a time, now where was it? There was a time, and I can't remember what it was, but where we were talking and we were like, I just don't know what's going to happen next. I don't understand where we're going to go next. Like, I remember us having that conversation. I can't remember that, and it was something quite recently.
I think it was either towards the end of Dragonflight or maybe just before Dragonflight, actually, or maybe it wasn't that recent.
Yeah, or maybe it wasn't. I mean, time is a weird thing, as we've understood.
Yeah.
And what I love now is actually there's so many, and Harandar is particularly rich in this, so many
hanging
places
threads
where I'm just, little threads where my brain's going, oh. And I love it when Blizzard are storytelling like that, because I have more faith now that they're not going to like drop a thread and then not come back to it for 20 years. Like, I feel like they're trying to be a bit more cognizant about not doing that to us.
I think this is the zone that has sparked my like lore imagination the most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it does seem like these I do like these little weekly quests, and having this sort of 7-week little additional campaign. It's not campaign, but additional sort of storytelling. I think it's really interesting. It's a really nice approach, and it's also quite good to have some weekly quests that are a bit finite, actually.
Yes.
Because I was just about to say that it's quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, just there's a bit more story and there's a few more things going on here, but actually you won't have to do it absolutely forever. And that feels quite nice. It feels like a nice thing to do.
Yeah, I don't feel like content like that has to last a whole patch or a whole expansion. Like, it's perfectly fine if it gets to like 2 months of me doing it and I can go, right, tick, I've done that, great, well done me.
Absolutely.
Well, if you're enjoying the show, perhaps you could give us a like or post a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to us. We're hoping to try and grow our audience a bit this year, and we'd love for you to help us reach out to new people. We'd also love you to join our Discord channel over at bit.ly/ggw-discord. You can watch our live show on Sundays at 8 p.m. London time or midday Pacific over at twitch.tv/silkyraven.
Right, before we get into our week in gaming, it's just time for us to drop in on our regular little correspondent, Cassunda. If you would like to find out a bit more about Cassunda, if you're maybe newer to the podcast, and Cassunda's been with us for quite a long time now, he does actually have his own section on the Discord. So you can just drop in and find out who all of the little characters are in this quite long-running radio play, and what they've been up to. Previously, on last week's show, the Death Knight Spranic dropped a big bombshell at the end of his battle report.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
When he referred to Cass as his son. So let's find out where that leaves us this week.
The Cassunda Chronicles. Cold Front, Part 5. Greetings and salutations, my friends. 'Tis I, Cassunda. My apologies for the sudden end to my previous message. Spranic's last comment threw me. I wasn't too sure whether I'd heard him correctly at first, but something in his mannerisms and the way he looked at me confirmed that what he'd said was what I'd heard. He called me his son. The others, sensing a change in the atmosphere, a chill in the wind, so to speak, made their excuses and said they would see me again soon. Master Tyrillith reached down, shook my hand, and I said he didn't know. He'd invited Spranic because of his interest in helping children. He hadn't realised the significance of just who Spranic was. I don't think it was a blindside. I think it's my father. I think Master Spranic didn't ambush me. I think it actually was pride when he said it. He stayed behind when the others left. He did salute Tyrillith as he left, and Tyrillith replaced the salute as well, and almost gave a weird, what best described as someone attempting a laugh that hadn't had one for a while. And then we talked. His memories. Earliest memory he had was a young family. Him, a wife, and a small child, a baby at the time. His next major recollection was Gnomrigan. The incident. The gases. The trogs. As he remembers telling his wife and child to run, and then turning to fight a large number of trogs on his own with nothing more than a spanner and the lid of a barrel. The fact that he later found out I was an orphan meant he knew that my mother had not made it. His next recollection was a voice calling him, a female voice, ethereal at first, but then opening his eyes to find a huge winged human, for want of a better word, hovering above him and telling him he was needed in a war. and then being put in armor, and being forced to train with various other races, and learning he was now a servant of the Lich King. Other memories resurfaced, training, things like that. And then the rumours, the memories coming back as he and other Death Knights turned against the Lich King and started to help the forces of the Alliance and the Horde against him. I informed him that that was also where I was. He actually looked at me and said, for all we know, we could have fought beside each other without knowing. And he said I hadn't dealt with many Death Knights at that point, but I saw them, and I could tell the different races were there, the different sizes. And I had wondered if the smaller ones had indeed been gnomes at some point. And obviously since then I have known the truth. We have agreed to talk more, to learn about each other more. But at that point there was a pounding on the door. I opened it to find a large, rugged sailor type. Sorry to disturb you, Captain, but we found another group of cloaks working. Really? Where? Stormwind, sir, in the docks. Words come out from a... Well, he said it was a source you'd know and trust, sir. The cloaks are working in the docks there. Very well. Master Spranick. Father. I'll catch up with you soon. We can talk more. He looked at me and said he looked forward to finding out how much of the rumours about me were true. I did actually laugh at that point, but we made our farewells, and I am now not even going to use the ships. I am heading straight to the portals the mages have put up to Stormwind. We have cloaks to deal with. And I think I know exactly who it is that's just sent me that message. I'll be seeing you.
Yeah, there might be some aspects of that conversation that you don't necessarily want to have with your dad. Oh no.
Oh my god, what an emotional roller coaster that one was. Ugh.
There we go. Well, thank you, Banian, once again for another thrilling installment. Yes.
Banian has great story pacing. I love this.
Yes, right. Well, it feels like a bit of a harsh change of track now, but how was our week in gaming? EJ, what's this week brought you in the gaming arena?
Well, so in case you hadn't noticed, the patch came along.
Yes.
Loads of stuff with the patch. So I've had a go. I've literally had a go at almost everything that the patch dropped, apart from anything related to like Mythic Plus.
Okay.
So although I did find there was a bug, and there was one bug. No, there was a bug. So you know the thing that we talked about last week, the glow.
Yes.
From Mythic Plus. In case you didn't listen to last week's show, there's a thing in Mythic Plus where there's a thing that can happen, and basically it'll light up NPs like mobs to give the tanks an idea about what direction to take.
Okay.
And there was a bug initially where it was doing this to players. So I came out of the inn the other day, and there was somebody like Britta had this beautiful white light around them, and I was like, oh dear. And I went over and just poked them slightly because I was like, this is very funny. So that entertained me.
Oh dear.
So I've done quite a lot of I've done all the there's lots of like little leading quests, and then once you've done the little intro, you can like do the thing or not do the thing. So I've done the void incursions. Meh. They're fine, but they're going to get tiresome very quickly. In fact, I'm already over those. I prefer the ritual sites, that's the first time I've remembered what they've called. In our house, they're called outside delves.
Yeah.
That's what we call them.
Yeah.
They're actually called ritual sites. I went pretty hard on the ritual sites. I have completed a level 5 ritual site with all 8 challenges up. That was a good challenge. I enjoyed that, and it looks like it looks like from something the game is telling you, not only when you hover over it, but when you look at your great default, that's tracking that as effectively a tier 13 delve.
Okay.
Yeah, that was interesting information. So yes, I've done that. That's a lot of fun. Again, I was watching Bear the other day, and I discovered that there are some mounts that can drop from seaweed or eggs in like the current iteration we've got up is the it is in North America as well. It's the Naga version.
Right.
So there's an egg that can spawn in the 2 rivers, and there are seaweed packs that can spawn, and if you click on the seaweed it brings up a mob, and it might bring up a rare that'll drop a mount. So they're quite fun. I quite like those because they're like outside delves, and I like delves. Prop hunt. I did the prop hunt thing. It was hilarious when they forgot to make humanoids untrackable, so hunters could find everybody. Or if you ate any of the food, that means you could track humanoids. You could just find everybody. Well,
great. Okay. Yeah.
So that was hilarious. It is, the problem with it is they want you to like hide a bit and then move a bit and then hide a bit. So if you find a hiding spot and you hide and nobody finds you, no, I think they're going to hotfit this, but you were basically you finished the thing with like without any reward, and it said you didn't do enough. Try and be more active next time. There was a really sort of like slightly aggressive what were you doing, loser? Stop AFKing. And it's like, no, I just hid really well.
Yes, it's a game of hide and seek, and I did the
when
hiding
you hide,
bit.
You find a place to hide and you don't move.
No, exactly, because exactly, yeah. This Blizzard.
Yeah.
Has somebody at Blizzard never played hide and seek, or have they only ever played hide and seek with 3-year-olds? Because hide and seek with 3-year-olds is different from hide and seek with slightly older children who understand how it works.
Hide and seek with 3-year-olds just put their face behind.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Hide and seek with 3-year-olds very similar to hide and seek with cats. You can't possibly see me because my head is in this thing. The fact the rest of my body is like out from under the sofa is neither here nor there. Sorry, carry on, EJ.
So I've seen a lot of discourse about this, and people are saying that like a lot of prop hunt games, actually, yes, the idea is you're supposed to move about quite a bit, but I also don't think that people should be penalised for like being very good at hiding. To the point where they gave you coins, but they were dispersed coins, so they're like, there's your reward, but we made it useless, so you can't use it. It was like a trash item. It was really passive aggressively it just wasn't pleasant. Like when everybody is and there was also like there was an ability that you were able to use that the hiders could block off the front door, so the seekers couldn't get out of the front door for 30 seconds out of the 3 minutes that they get to find you. So
okay.
Yeah, there's all sorts of, so they're sort of working on those. I still think it would be a lot of fun if you went in with your own group, so you were all on comms. I think it's going to need more maps. I think that map is it's not a very big area. I think that map's going to get stale really quickly. But it was fine.
Okay.
I wonder if they were counting on people knowing what prop hunts are.
I think they probably were.
Because like I've never played a game that had anything like this. So like I would have had no context.
Yeah. And also all the sort of messaging behind it, or any creators, everyone's been talking about it as hide and seek.
Yeah.
Hide and seek, the big thing about hide and seek is that if you're very good at hiding, you win.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
and then yesterday and today, I have basically all I've done for yesterday and today is I've been doing the anglers, whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah.
I've been doing the fishing thing out in
fishing
Zul'Amun.
thing, yeah.
Oh, I've been playing Dave
Dave
the
the Diver.
Diver, basically.
Hey.
One, I still can't get over the fact I hadn't realised it was Dave the Diver.
That was extremely funny.
And
I'm just
yeah,
not
it's
going
very
to lie,
funny.
it's
It's just-
extremely funny. The amount of times we have spent watching Johnny play Dave the Diver
I know.
are just hilarious.
And as I'm like swimming around fishing things and stuff, and I'm like, how did I not know that? Anyway, so I've ticked off most of the achievements because I've gone pretty hard on it. Some of the fish are quite terrifying. The best way, if you want to get the most amount of pearls, my top tip is to ignore all the fish and just pick up treasures. That seems the way to get yourself the biggest score.
Okay.
Is to just pick up all the treasures. And there's a great bit. So if you swim up and then go to the right, over a bit of a chasm, there's an area there where some treasures, you can just basically go round in a circle and they just keep respawning.
Oh.
So that's my top tip for getting as many coins as you want, because if I want to buy, so you have to buy all of the upgrades to your swimsuit,
Right.
and then there's housing decor, there's transmog, there's a quest item that's related, I believe, to an achievement.
Right.
There's a pet. So if you want to get all of those, so if you want to get all the decor, you're going to need 5,000 pearls. Just to give you a point of reference on that, if I had a really good treasure seeking run, I could get 900 pearls.
Okay.
It's not terrible.
All right, so it's not terrible. Yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you want all the transmog, it's going to cost you 9,000 pearls.
Okay.
If you want the pet, which is a capybara, by the looks of, I think it's a capybara, it's 2,500, and if it's 1,500 for the quest item. So if
Okay.
you want all of that, you need 18,000 pearls.
Okay.
And the quest item unlocks a new Loa, right?
Yes, or it unlocks a new blessing related to the Loa. It's
Okay.
either a new Loa completely or a new blessing related to an existing Loa. I can't remember.
I think it's a new Loa because I counted the number of Loas I didn't have yet, and
maybe
when
it is a new Loa then.
12.0.5 came, or when this patch came in, there was another Loa now that I didn't have.
Well,
okay.
it's 1,500 pearls you'll need for that Loa.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I mean, once I get everything, obviously I'll fish it up until I've done all the achievements and stuff. Will I go back to it after that? Probably not. There won't be any need to, but it's going to keep me entertained. It's going to be really nice because once you fully upgrade your swimsuit, the longest dive is going to take you is like 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay.
So actually, if you've got 15 minutes and you want to do something, you can go and do a couple of dives and then toddle off. Or if you want to do something quiet before you finish your evening, you can go and do a dive.
Nice.
It's really straightforward. It's really easy to use. There's a rare that has that you have to battle down that's got 3 very aggressive sharks around it. That's the only bad thing about it. So there's a mythical, basically it looks like the Loch Ness Monster, and it's surrounded by 3 very aggressive sharks.
Right.
And they all have quite a lot of armor on them. So the sharks have like 18 armor on them, and Nessie has 99 armor.
Oof.
So you have to keep spearing it to knock the armor off.
Right.
As you do.
Nessie is well fortified. Okay.
Yes, Nessie, when you hit Nessie, they do an electric pulse around them in big balls that like steal some of your oxygen, and the sharks are very aggressive, and if they grab you, they hold on to you, and for every second they hold on to you, you lose 5 oxygen, and there's no way, you just have to sit there until they give up. And then as soon as they let you go, you have to run away very quickly, or they'll like nab you again.
Okay.
The only thing about this is there's some quests related to killing Nessie, and when you do kill it, so the problem is you can spend all that time, and sometimes it'll take you several trips down to break that those scales off it. Somebody else can come along and just steal the kill off you at the last minute.
That's frustrating.
Now, if they do that, if you can find the tiny blood spot that is in the middle of the water and spear or swim through that, you still get credit for the kill, but it's minuscule. So basically, make sure you've got Nessie targeted, and then just swim up and swim round, and you're looking for like a little blood pool, because I've had 2 kills stolen off me. And I had a third where I thought it was stolen off, and then I found the tiny blood pool, courtesy to a Wowhead comment going, "It'll be there. You just have to swim around. It's really difficult to see." So
that's frustrating.
You, Wowhead person.
That's frustrating.
So that's the only thing, because you have to put so much work into it, and there's a couple of things locked behind it. That's a little bit frustrating, but good 9 out of 10 for that. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. I'm sort of, I've got a few achievements that I'm ticking over. Yeah, I'm very pleased that I've managed to finish the Harandar story, because it was lovely. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, how about yourself?
Yeah, so I've not had super amounts of time in game this week. I did have a little bit yesterday and today where I've been trying out some of the patch stuff. Yeah, the Void Incursion, I mean, it was fine. It was fine. Not super exciting. I didn't super love the ritual site. I was just a bit like, or I could just go to delve. It's like, why am I in here doing this? I could just go and do a real delve. So I mean, I'm not that far on my delver's journey, because I don't play as much as other people. So I feel like I've not quite got to a 13 delve yet. I did my first 10 today, so I'm not.
I saw it went ping.
Yes, I did my first 10 today. So that was very good. But yeah, I was a bit like, okay, fine, it's another thing that looks like delves okay, fine. So yeah, I just sort of, I didn't super see the point. But okay, it's a 0.5 patch, so here's a thing to do. Haven't explored the Dave the Diver yet, but because I haven't had time, but we'll catch up. It'll be fine. I went to Decimus and handed him some things, and then he handed me some different quests for some different things, and I was like, okay, sure. Still don't really know what we're doing for Decimus, but fine, whatever. I mean, we did the thing on it last week, but it's like, it's still in-game, it's all a bit mysterious. It's like, and now we finished that level thing, have a different level thing, and now go and do that.
Yeah, having done the show last week and knowing what Decimus was going to do, and then actually be given the quest, you're right, they're a little bit like, what is this?
And there's a thing where you have to
doesn't really make it obvious as to what it is about.
No, it really, really doesn't. And there's a thing where you have to pick up a quest and then complete the quest by buying some things off him. And I was just like, I don't really understand what's going on here. And I read the notes last week and everything, but I didn't really get it. But it's fine. It's fine. I was just like, I quite like to leave Voidspire now, because I don't like it in here. Voidstorm, sorry. Also leave Voidspire. So we did do some group content this week. The Wednesday night raiding group is going very well. So we did a fresh Voidspire run this week. And we got all the way up to Illyria. So we've had our first few tries on Illyria. Several of which ended in well, I just don't really understand where we're supposed to stand. What is...
Yeah.
Just
those feathers, those bloody feathers.
Yeah, and then we got to the bit where the platform splits, and a whole load of people were fucked over, gaslit by feathers, basically. Just so everybody just fell off the platform because the feathers didn't work. I was like, okay, let's come back and try this next week. So next week I think we'll extend and see if we can get Illyria down. We did get quite close, so I think it'll probably be fine. And then we can nip over to the Dream Rift and get Chimeras down, because we've got a few people who have come back to raiding since we did that a few weeks ago, so I think that would be a useful thing to do. And then, of course, we've got the March on Caldenas to do, so we've still got a whole raid ahead of us.
Yes.
But that's so that's going really well. It was a super nice, super fun group. And then Friday, we got into, some of us went and did some Mythic Plus. We had to pug a couple of tanks. which is never ideal. We actually had two very good tanks. So we started with a 4... where was the first one? What was the first one? Oh my god. Nexus Point Jam Face. What's that Nexus Point? There's a Nexus Point dungeon where Lothraxian lives. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one where
Jam dungeon.
Nexus Point, whatever it is, where Lothraxian is living. So we went in there. The tank, predictably, just fucking pug tanks, man. Like the tank comes in, goes charging off, pulls everything. We all have a little sort of death experience, and then it's like, oh, suspicious. The tank, the packs. Nexus Point Zenus. There we go. Thank you, Salmus.
Not enough jam in that title.
So we all had a little near-death experience, and indeed a death experience in some cases, and then the packs were all suspiciously smaller in the aftermath, which was good. We had somebody with us, our new player, Steph, who'd never been in a Mythic Plus before, so that was pretty cool. +4. And it was a little bit scrappy. We had a few deaths and a few bits and pieces, but we made it to the end and we timed it, and that was super good. So that was good fun. Then we went to, what's it called? Skyreach. We went to Skyreach in the Spires of Iraq. Now, I haven't been to Skyreach in probably since we were in Warlords of Draenor, which is like 10 years ago or something now. And I didn't do very many dungeons in Warlords of Draenor. It was one of the expansions where I didn't play the dungeon content very much, partly because I didn't like the dungeon design. A fact I only remembered as I was flying off the side of the Skyreach for the 20th time, and I was like, oh yeah, I really didn't like designs of the dungeons in this expansion. Oh yes, remember. Just everything wants to knock you off the fucking Skyreach. It's like, it's just shit. So we did it on a 6. The tank actually was very patient, although he did also pull some slightly bigger groups than I think was maybe entirely warranted. But we did finish it. We were very over time, but we did finish it. And so we gave Steph their first proper Mythic Plus experience. Like, this one was slightly scrappy, but it went okay. We got there in the end, and this was a complete disaster, and everybody died 100 times. And there was a lot of falling off the platform, and there was a lot of forgetting how the mechanics work, and there was a lot of the tank having to solo the last 25% of the boss. And it was fine. It was fine. So that was on Friday night. It was good. It was good fun. It was good fun. I think. Marie, how has your week in game been?
Oh, it's been good. I've not had a ton of playtime this week. Couple hours in WoW. Couple hours body doubling for Kyle as he tries to get ahead of his schoolwork. Playing the Cosmic Wheels Sisterhood on my Steam Deck. You start off as a witch who's making a pact with a otherworldly behemoth, and
sounds safe.
You build tarot cards, and you go from there. It seems so far it's fun. I'm just past the tutorial basically, in WoW I've gotten everyone in the cantina except for a goblin. And I've gotten to the point in the MSQ where the Void has taken over the Sunwell, and I have to go in and do that raid. And so, I'm at the point where I am starting to tick off achievements that I want, and so I'm finishing up the moths, and I'm doing housing stuff, although not this week, and just I've got probably another week or two of a number of hours a week, and then I'll probably have a list of, you know, log on at the beginning of every week, do these few things. So,
Yeah.
one thing I definitely need to get to is I made a Harandar druid, but I need to take her through her starting zone.
Ah, yes. Okay. Oh, sounds like a productive week. Let's find out what Salmus has been up to.
Hello, Raven and DJ. This is Salmus, the alchemical rogue, reporting in for my week in WoW. Friends and family ran a few more delves. Rexual healing carried me through a Nexus Joint Zenith 7 key, which they pushed to an 8 while I had to be AFK for real-life reasons. You know, these people are solid platinum. We also returned to the Voidspire raid on normal difficulty and took a few tries against the Void Dragons, Voidal-D and Voidal-Dum. I started leveling a Mistweaver monk, exploring all the nooks and crannies of Harandar. They made fist-weaving in that spec work pretty well, so much so that while soloing, I really didn't have to actively heal. The passive healing while damaging has been so far enough to keep me topped up and healthy. Thank you all. Salma's out.
Those dragons, man. Those dragons are entirely unnecessary. Entirely unnecessary. And yes, we will probably
They're very big, and the floor is very big, and then it's very small.
You're just never quite in the right... Oh, River, what are you doing? They're never quite in the right... they're just never where you want them to be, and you're always in the wrong place. Anyway. Cheryl says they and their team re-cleared the first 3 bosses in the Voidspire and had a couple of tries on the dragons. They also completed their first +5 Mythic Plus, less than 10 minutes over time, which felt really good. They are in Act 3 of their current BG3 run, having forgotten that they sold the Githyanki egg to the Society, and they are never doing that again. They're excited as Final Fantasy XIV Fan Fest is happening this weekend, so there should be news about the next expansion and cosplay to watch. I saw them posting earlier that the keynote is now available on VOD, and it's 3 hours. Like, blimey.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
They do things long form over in Final Fantasy Land.
Queen Smedry did a ludicrous amount of BFA questing this week to put the Veil into the right sort of phasing so that she could start hunting for ivory, I think that should be ivory, sky noodles. She has so far killed 310 Mogu, and they refuse to drop the lasso she needs for this. I mean, that's rude, quite frankly.
Boo.
But par for the course. They are rude.
They are rude. They are rude. That's really bad. Ams completed a few tier 11 delves and got a few unexpected titles. Completed Nullius and got both Delve Glory and Lawmaster achievements. He's now working on the post-campaign quest. Gosh, that's a lot.
Sacramo is running a Dragonborn Bard in Baldur's Gate 3 and learnt several new things this week, including that Astarion will drink you to death if you let him. Yes, he will. In WoW, John and him have been bountiful delving and trying the new invasions and rituals. He's not quite sure why they gave us both, as we are now awash with new activities to earn currency for. He also ran LFR and received a shiny new glaive for his Demon Hunter from Lura that looks like the Dark Naru, which means he had to change his transmog from green to blue. Ooh, I bet that looks amazing.
Yeah, I bet it does.
Screenshot, please. Screenshot.
Yeah, screenshots to the screenshot channel. Finally, so much love and sympathy to Pastor Matt, whose lovely dog friend crossed over the Rainbow Bridge last Sunday. So sorry, Matt. It's
sorry, Pastor.
Yeah, so sorry. We all know what that feels
Always
like,
too soon.
Unfortunately. Yeah. He's feeling a bit overwhelmed with WoW at the moment and is looking forward to the Diablo X-Pack more than he thought he would. Yes, there was lots of Lord of Hatred stuff this week as well. My in the brief minute I had a horror Friday, my launcher was refusing to launch. And it kept
Literally
trying to...
its job.
Yeah, exactly. It was just refusing to. And it kept telling me about Diablo and not about WoW. So that was exciting. I don't know why River is now doing circuits over there. I'm not quite sure what's...
I noticed she's patrolling.
going on. I'm feeding downstairs his cat, as well as obviously I feed River every day. She's my cat, but I'm currently feeding a cat on the ground floor who's allowed to go out. And yesterday, he arrived in a very suspicious manner, which I eventually discovered was because he'd brought a dead mouse with him.
Oh.
I was like, at least it was a dead mouse, because that meant I could remove it quite easily. But I was like, oh, okay, thanks.
Oh,
thanks. His name is
Imagine having to chase. Imagine having to chase a mouse around somebody else's house. I've had enough occasions I've ever had to do it in my own home. But not somebody else's.
I did have a brief moment where I was like, I don't want the next 20 minutes to be me chasing some kind of live rodent around somebody else's bedroom. That feels many kinds of wrong. But yeah, it was fine.
Might have just left them to it. Bye now, Guinness. Have some kibble. Bye.
Yes, dear occupants of the house. You have a new lodger. Yeah, I'm not sure that would have gone down very well. Right, well, thank you very much for joining us this week. If you'd like to get in touch, the best place to find us is on Discord at bit.ly/ggw-discord. We'd also love it if you would drop us a follow over on Blue Sky at GGW Show, or subscribe to us on YouTube at GGW Show. And please remember that if you do like the show, drop us a like or follow or a little review on your platform of choice and help other people find us.
Next week, Voidstorm, Xalatath's launching point for her attack on the Sunwell that exists in the nexus of void energies throughout the cosmos. Let's talk about the questing and story we uncovered there, and how the Stormerian Assault is our favourite weekly.
Yeah, strap in, guys. Next week's gonna be a thing. I think Trey is joining us. I can't remember.
I think Trey's with us.
I think Trey's joining us next week. So yes, thank you very much for tuning in, and we will speak to you in 7 days. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.